You are obsessed with someone who may not even return your feelings. You feel like this person must be your destiny, and yet you don't know why it hurts so much. When you can't sleep because you're constantly thinking of someone, when every song reminds you of this person, when you believe the universe has deliberately brought you together, then stop. What you are about to discover could shatter all your romantic fantasies or confirm that this connection is truly real. Carl Jung, one of the most controversial psychologists in history, dedicated his life to deciphering this mystery. What he found is so disturbing that most therapists would never dare to tell you, because Jung doesn't give false hope. He gives you the ruthless truth about love even when it hurts. Before we continue, do something decisive that multiplies the energy of what you're about to learn. Subscribe now, because here we speak openly about truths no one else dares to say. Give this video a like, so more people can discover this life-changing knowledge. And in the comments, write the name of the person you can't stop thinking about, or if you prefer to keep it private, simply write the word destiny. Every action you take now creates an energetic resonance that amplifies everything you are about to understand. Do it now. Don't wait until the end, because what's coming is so powerful that you must fully immerse yourself in the process. Today, you will discover whether the person who consumes your thoughts is truly your destiny or the manifestation of your deepest wound disguised as love. And I warn you, this information could destroy the story you've told yourself about this relationship. Are you ready to face the truth? Because what Jung discovered is the following. 90% of people who believe they are experiencing fateful love are, in fact, repeating traumatic patterns from their childhood. They confuse emotional dependency with a soul connection. They call destiny what is really a wound crying out for healing. But here's what almost no one tells you. There are those rare 10% of connections that are real, transcendent, transformative, and divine. They carry a deeper meaning that goes beyond time and space. And in the next moments, you'll learn how to recognize the difference. If you're still listening, it's no coincidence. Something inside you knows that this message is for you. You are searching for answers that no one has given you. You are tired of feeling crazy for loving someone who doesn't seem to love you back. What you are about to learn may shake your ego, but it will free your soul. Jung did not come to confirm your romantic fantasies. He came to awaken your consciousness. And this awakening, as necessary as it is, can be painful. Here is the truth that the love industry hides from you. You don't fall in love with people. You fall in love with your projections. The person you think is perfect is actually reflecting parts of your own psyche that you have not yet integrated. You see in them what you need to see, not what they truly are. Frightening, isn't it? Because that means that this magnetic attraction, this love at first sight, this idea that you've met before, in past lives could be nothing more than your subconscious projecting its unresolved wounds onto someone else. But before you panic, listen carefully. Jung also discovered something revolutionary. When two people have healed their wounds and integrated their shadows, they can meet on a soul level beyond projection. That is true fateful love, not the romantic illusion we've been sold, but something much deeper and more transformative. Do you want the ultimate proof of whether this person is truly meant for you? Jung gave infallible signs, but they are merciless. Most people don't want to hear them. Listen closely, because this is where illusion and truth part ways. If this person makes you anxious or insecure, if you constantly feel you have to prove your worth, then that is not fateful love. It's trauma disguised as attraction. If they trigger your old wounds of abandonment, if you're always wondering whether you are enough or whether they truly love you, this is not your destiny. It's your unresolved past crying out for healing. If you lie awake at night questioning their feelings, that is not soul peace. That is the fear of your wounded ego. The frightening thing is, most people are addicted to this kind of love because they confuse fear with passion, drama with depth, and intensity with authenticity. And as long as you remain trapped in that confusion, you will continue to attract relationships that drain you instead of expanding you. Now comes the part that can change your life forever, the truth. Jung reserved for those brave enough to face it. He discovered that true, fateful love is the opposite of what popular culture has taught us. It doesn't come with chaos, anxiety, or endless questions. It comes with peace. It feels like coming home. When you meet the right person, you don't lose sleep. You rest. You don't feel nervous. You feel safe. You don't chase. You connect. You don't try to prove your worth. You simply are. True love gives you a deep sense of recognition, not constant restlessness. It lets you sleep peacefully because you feel emotionally secure. It makes you feel loved for who you are without the exhausting need to perform. It allows you to be authentic without fear of rejection. It invites you to grow, not to shrink. And if the person you're thinking about right now doesn't meet these criteria, then the truth is bitter but freeing. It's not your destiny. It's your emotional dependency disguised as cosmic love. Your mind might now be searching for excuses. It will try to defend the illusion. But your soul knows the truth. Deep down you feel it. Here's the most shocking realization of all. Those who are most obsessed with finding their soulmate are the least prepared to receive them. Why? Because they are still seeking someone to complete them. But true love doesn't come to complete you. It comes to celebrate you. It doesn't appear to fill your emptiness. It expands your fullness. It doesn't arrive to save you. It meets you when you've already saved yourself. If your peace depends on whether this person stays or leaves, if you feel you can't live without them, then they are not your destiny. They are your lesson. Because true love does not come to rescue you. It comes to mirror you. It shows you the parts you've healed and the parts still longing for light. And this is where transformation begins, not in the desperate chase for someone else, but in the courageous journey toward yourself. When you become whole, love no longer hurts. It flows. When you find peace within, you no longer need to beg for it from another. And when you finally see that the person you've been seeking was never outside of you, but inside you all along, that's when destiny begins to reveal its real face. Now comes the moment of brutal truth. Are you ready to let go of the person you believe is your destiny, when in reality, they might be your unresolved karma? Do you have the courage to admit that what you feel may not be love, but trauma bonding? Jung would tell you without hesitation, as long as you cling to relationships that drain you, confuse you, or keep you trapped on an emotional roller coaster, you are blocking the arrival of your true love. It's like standing at the door of your home, hugging a photograph of someone while your real partner is knocking outside, but they can't enter because your arms are still wrapped around the illusion. Let me ask you something completely honest, something that can reveal the truth in seconds. Does this person you call your destiny help you become a better version of yourself? Or do they keep you trapped in patterns you already know too well? Does their presence lead you toward growth, toward light, toward expansion? Or do they pull you deeper into doubt and self-abandonment? Because true love, from a Jungian perspective, is not repetition. It is evolution. It doesn't come to confirm your wounds, but to transform them. It doesn't arrive to keep you comfortable, but to expand the boundaries of what you believe is possible for you. Jung once said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to a better understanding of ourselves. If the person you can't forget makes you nervous, inadequate, or anxious, do not ignore those sensations. Your soul is speaking to you. It is showing you precisely which parts of you still need attention. The pain you feel is not punishment. It is revelation. It is the flashlight pointing toward the wounds still hidden in the shadows of your being." Let's try a simple exercise. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture this person, not their face, not their smile, but how you feel about yourself when you are with them. Do you feel freer or more trapped? More authentic or more fake? Calmer or more tense? More connected to yourself or more lost? These sensations are your inner compass. They show you the truth that your mind refuses to accept. The body never lies. Your soul whispers the truth in feelings long before your mind dares to admit it. Jung taught that the process of individuation, the path of truly becoming yourself, is the most important task of your life. And relationships, especially the intense ones, are not the destination. They are catalysts. They accelerate this inner evolution. They are mirrors that reflect the truth of your soul, both the light and the shadow. How many times have you mistaken familiarity for destiny? How many times have you felt a magnetic pull to someone, only to realize later that they reminded you of something painful, something unresolved, something deeply familiar from your past? The human mind is drawn to what it recognizes, even when what it recognizes is what once hurt it. That is why we are often attracted to people who treat us the way we were treated in childhood, not because they are our destiny, but because they are our pattern. The child who once felt unseen seeks partners who withhold attention. The child who once felt unworthy seeks partners who make them prove their worth. The child who once felt abandoned keeps chasing those who are emotionally unavailable. And the adult calls it fate, but it isn't fate. It's repetition. It's your subconscious trying to rewrite an old story with a new character. And until you become conscious of that pattern, you'll keep living it again and again, thinking it's destiny when it's really déjà vu. True love, the kind Jung spoke of, does not feel familiar in the sense of old pain. It feels familiar in the sense of coming home. You recognize it not because it matches your wounds, but because it matches your healing. It feels peaceful, not dramatic. It feels grounding, not addictive. It feels like truth. Jung also spoke of synchronicity, those meaningful coincidences that seem to have purpose beyond logic. When someone enters your life at a precise moment of inner transformation, it is not random. The soul speaks through synchronicities. It sends you signs, coincidences, repeated patterns, and intuitive nudges. But here is where many people go wrong. Synchronicity doesn't guarantee permanence. Just because someone arrived with divine timing doesn't mean they are meant to stay forever. Some people come into your life to deliver a message, to awaken something in you, to open a door, and then they leave. That too is destiny. That too is love. Because not every soul connection is meant to last a lifetime. Some are meant to change you for a lifetime. And that change is sacred. One of Jung's most powerful descriptions of true connection is this: you can be completely yourself with this person. You can show your shadows, your fears, your contradictions, and instead of withdrawing, they stay. They don't fix you. They don't rescue you. They simply hold space for you to unfold. True love does not flee from your vulnerability. It embraces it. It does not shrink when you cry. It stays to witness your tears. It does not condemn your imperfections. It honors your complexity. It doesn't want to change you. It celebrates you. But look closely at your current connection. Do you feel you can show your truth, or do you constantly hide it out of fear of losing them? Do you censor yourself to be loved? Do you shrink your needs just to keep the peace? Because if you do, that's not love. It's fear wearing a romantic mask. Have you noticed that when you desperately crave love, you attract people who mirror your desperation? It's as if the universe keeps saying, see yourself, see the pattern, heal it. You keep meeting versions of the same person until you realize that the person you truly needed to meet was yourself. When you begin to heal within, when you begin to love yourself enough not to settle, everything changes. Your vibration shifts. You stop attracting people from your wounds and start attracting from your wholeness. And that's when love arrives, not as a rescue, but as recognition. Jung said, "Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens." Maybe it's time to awaken. Maybe the love you've been chasing was never meant to be found in another's eyes, but in your own reflection. Because the person who is truly meant for you is not the one who completes you, but the one who recognizes that you are already complete. That is the difference between karmic and destined connections. The karmic connection feels like fire, hot, wild, consuming. It comes with chaos and lessons. It burns through illusions. Its purpose is temporary, to awaken, to expose, to teach. The destined connection feels like light, gentle, constant, illuminating. It warms but doesn't burn. It calms but doesn't dull. It expands but doesn't overwhelm. And when you meet that kind of love, you will not question it. You will recognize it, not with your mind, but with your soul. The greatest obstacle to recognizing true love is not the absence of it. It's fear. Fear of being fully seen. Fear of being vulnerable. Fear of being left once you reveal your truth. But Jung reminds us, vulnerability is not weakness. It is the birthplace of real connection. Only when you dare to be fully yourself can you attract someone who loves the real you. When you hide, you attract partners who love your mask. When you reveal yourself, you attract those who can love your essence. If you are in a relationship where you must silence parts of yourself just to be accepted, that is not love, it is performance. True love requires no performance. It thrives in authenticity. It grows in transparency. It breathes in honesty. Unconditional love does not mean tolerating pain or chaos. It means seeing the essence of the other person, beyond their flaws, beyond your projections, and still choosing to love consciously, not compulsively. Jung also spoke about the power of opposites. He taught that true connections often come through complementarity, not similarity. The person who is truly meant for you may not think like you, act like you, or even share your worldview, but their energy completes yours in a balanced, harmonious way. Not because they fill your voids, but because they reflect your wholeness from another angle. But be careful, not every difference is a divine match. Many opposites clash instead of harmonize. A destined connection might challenge you, yes, but it will never humiliate you. It may test you, but it will never destroy your peace. It may demand effort, but it will never require you to lose yourself. There is a natural flow in true connection, like a river finding its path through stone. Not forceful, but inevitable. You feel movement, not struggle. Expansion, not contraction. Growth, not exhaustion. And yet, most people confuse the turbulence of karmic love for passion. They think if it's not chaotic, it must be dull. But that's a lie taught by pain. When you are used to chaos, peace feels boring. When you are used to proving your worth, ease feels suspicious. When you are used to abandonment, consistency feels unfamiliar. That's why the journey of love begins not with another, but with healing. You must reprogram your nervous system to recognize peace as love, not danger. Because the love meant for you will feel calm, not chaotic. Safe, not suffocating. Now, let me ask you a question that could change how you see every relationship in your life. Are you truly seeking a fateful connection? Or are you running from the connection with yourself? So often what we call searching for love is, in truth, an escape from our own emptiness. We hope someone will make us feel whole, wanted, seen. But Jung warned us, no external relationship can fill an internal void that you have not yet faced. You cannot pour love into a broken cup and expect it to hold. The person meant for you will not come to heal your wounds. They will arrive when you have already started healing them. They will not complete your story, they will join it. They will not carry your pain, but they will walk beside you as you release it. And how do you know when you are ready for that kind of love? Jung said, you are ready when you no longer need it. When love is no longer an addiction, but a choice. When you can stand in your own presence without craving validation. When your joy is not dependent on someone else's attention. When you feel whole even in solitude. That is when love finds you. Because love meets you at your level of self-awareness. The deeper your consciousness, the deeper the connection you attract. And that's the paradox. The moment you stop chasing love is the moment it starts chasing you. Because energy seeks resonance. When you no longer emit desperation, you become magnetic to peace. When you no longer radiate need, you attract presence. True love does not come through effort. It comes through alignment. It's not something you earn by trying harder. It's something you allow by being truer. When you are authentic, you send a frequency into the world that calls in what is meant for you. And that frequency is not please choose me. It's I already choose myself. There is deep spiritual power in that. Because when you choose yourself, the universe mirrors it. People begin to treat you with the respect you demand through your energy, not your words. Those who once confused or drained you begin to fall away. Not because you forced them out, but because you no longer resonate with chaos. You start attracting relationships that feel like exhalation, not tension. People who understand your silence as much as your speech. Partners who listen, not just respond. Souls who stand beside you, not above you. And as this shift happens, your perception of love changes forever. You no longer crave the intensity of obsession, you crave the serenity of presence. You no longer want someone who excites your wounds, you want someone who calms your spirit. You no longer look for a person to complete you, you look for a soul who complements you. That is the awakening Jung spoke of, the point where love becomes conscious, and conscious love is revolutionary. It's not about losing yourself in another. It's about finding yourself through connection. It's not about controlling the other. It's about co-creating growth. You learn that love is not supposed to imprison you, but to liberate you. It's not supposed to demand your self-abandonment, but your authenticity. It's not supposed to test your worth, but reveal your wholeness. This is why the world misunderstands real love. It's too peaceful for those addicted to pain, too calm for those used to chaos, too honest for those who hide behind illusions. But once you've tasted conscious love, you can never go back to confusion. You stop chasing people who make you question your worth. You stop begging for attention. You stop romanticizing emotional unavailability. And instead you begin to see beauty in simplicity. The quiet text that says, "I'm thinking of you," the small gestures of consistency, the safe silence that feels like home. True love doesn't always look like fireworks. Sometimes it looks like still water, clear, reflective, and deep. And when you find it, your soul knows. There is no doubt, no resistance, no question. Just a calm certainty that you are where you are meant to be. So, if the love you are experiencing right now leaves you restless, anxious, or confused, understand this: that is not your destiny. That is your mirror. It is showing you where you still need to heal. When you stop trying to possess love and start trying to understand it, everything changes. Because love is not about holding, it's about allowing. It's not about control, it's about connection. It's not about forever, it's about truth. And truth, once revealed, transforms everything it touches. If the person you can't forget keeps you in a constant state of uncertainty, fear, or restlessness, then what you are feeling is not destiny. It's your wound wearing the mask of love. True love may have moments of uncertainty, yes, but its foundation is stability. It gives you a sense of safety and trust that no drama can imitate. Jung taught that the soul recognizes its counterpart without needing rational explanation. It's not the mind that decides, it's the deeper intelligence of the heart. This recognition goes beyond physical attraction, beyond compatibility, beyond shared hobbies. It's a spiritual echo, a knowing that says, "I see you, and somehow I've always known you." But what about those people you've loved deeply who didn't stay? The ones who changed you, then disappeared like ghosts? Jung would say, they were still part of your destiny, just not the permanent kind. Their role was to awaken you, not to accompany you forever. They came to activate your growth, to prepare you for what's next. They were not mistakes. They were teachers disguised as lovers. Every encounter in your life has been divinely timed for your evolution, even the ones that broke you open, especially those. Because the breaking was never the end. It was the beginning of your expansion. Think of every heartbreak as a spiritual surgery. Painful, yes, but necessary to remove what no longer belongs inside your soul. The wound that hurts the most often becomes the doorway to your higher self. But here's the key. You cannot receive what's truly meant for you while still clutching what has already fulfilled its purpose. Jung spoke often about the power of letting go, honoring the past, without being enslaved by it. Letting go does not mean you stop loving someone. It means you stop suffering for them. It means you release the version of yourself that existed only in their presence. It means you open your hands and your heart so that what is meant for you can finally arrive. If you've come this far and something inside you is resonating, that is not an accident. Your soul is preparing for something new. Maybe it's time to release what keeps you small. Maybe it's time to open yourself to what's coming next. Maybe it's time to realize that the love you seek has been within you all along. Jung once said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." That is the essence of real connection. It transforms you. Even if it doesn't last, it changes you forever. True love doesn't always mean permanence. Sometimes it means transformation. It doesn't have to stay to be sacred. Its purpose may be to awaken you, to redirect you, to prepare you. Both kinds of love, the one that stays and the one that leaves, are holy. Both are necessary. Both shape you into the person you were meant to become. Your purpose is not to label every connection as the one. Your purpose is to remain conscious through every connection, to stay awake, to grow, to learn what love really is and what it is not. Because here's the truth, you are also someone else's destiny. You are not the one always waiting to be chosen. You are also the one who is meant to choose. You are the mirror in someone else's awakening. You are the lesson, the blessing, the catalyst in someone's journey toward truth. And that realization changes everything. You stop chasing and start attracting. You stop begging for love and start embodying it. You stop searching for destiny outside yourself and start becoming it. When you realize you are already whole, you no longer cling to what hurts you. When you accept your worth, you no longer tolerate uncertainty disguised as romance. When you heal your heart, you naturally draw in what matches your peace. Because love does not find you when you're lost. It finds you when you've come home, to yourself. The more you understand yourself, the more authentic your relationships become. Awareness is the foundation of real intimacy. When you know your patterns, you can stop repeating them. When you know your wounds, you can stop projecting them. When you know your worth, you can stop negotiating it. That's when love begins to thrive, because true love cannot survive in unconsciousness. It dies where there are masks, games, and illusions. But it flourishes in truth, awareness, and freedom. It doesn't seek to control. It seeks to connect. It doesn't feed on fear. It feeds on trust. It doesn't demand your perfection. It invites your humanity. When you reach that level of consciousness, you no longer see love as something to get. You see it as something to give. You love not because you need, but because you overflow. You share, not because you're empty, but because you're full. That's when love becomes sacred. That's when relationships become spiritual growth, not emotional survival. So, if you are holding on to someone who brings you chaos, let this be your reminder. You are not meant to suffer to prove your worth. You are meant to grow in peace. If you keep waiting for someone to choose you, realize that the universe is waiting for you to choose yourself. Because only then will you be able to recognize someone who chooses you from the same energy of wholeness. You are not too much. You are not too emotional. You are not unworthy. You are simply evolving. And sometimes evolution requires solitude. The right person will never ask you to hide your light. They will see it and rise with you. They won't drain you. They will pour into you. They won't confuse you. They will bring clarity. They won't complete you. They will celebrate your completeness. And when that person appears, you won't feel fireworks. You'll feel peace. You won't be anxious. You'll feel calm. You won't need to ask, is this real? Because your soul will simply know. Jung was right when he said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. And when you become that person, whole, conscious, awake, love will no longer be something you seek. It will be something you are. True love will come not as an escape from your loneliness, but as a reflection of your inner harmony. It will arrive naturally, gently, without resistance. It will feel like recognition, not obsession. Freedom, not fear. And when that happens, you will finally understand what destiny truly means. It was never about finding someone to complete you. It was about remembering that you were always the destiny you were searching for. Because the moment you become peace, you attract peace. The moment you embody love, you invite it. The moment you know your worth, you never settle again. That is the real miracle. That is true fateful love. It begins and ends with you. And when it finds you, it won't come to fix your life. It will simply stand beside you, quietly, powerfully, reminding you that you are already whole. You will look at that person and realize, this is not the ending of my search. It is the continuation of my becoming. And in that stillness, you will know, finally, undeniably, beautifully, what it means to love and be loved in truth.